We are here on a secret mission for Channel Mum at the Iceland headquarters in Deeside. We're just about to go inside and meet up with Neil Nugent, the head development chef.
We're going to get the answers to some of those niggling questions, like is frozen really better than fresh? And what is the power of frozen that Iceland are always going on about? Come on, let's go in.
So we've had loads of questions in, and the first one being, what loves to be frozen?
Most things like being frozen. I think things that are frozen at source, like fish, so you capture its freshness. Fruit, when it's ripe, it gets picked and frozen. That's really good as well. And meat doesn't mind being frozen. So there's lots of things. And if you cook something like a meal, like a stew or a casserole or a curry, that loves being frozen as well. But when you get into things like with very, very high water content, and I've got an example here that doesn't like being frozen. So here you've got things like cucumbers and courgettes. You know, that's a fresh cucumber, but if you freeze it, all the water will come out of it.
Okay.
So they don't like being frozen.
It's gone a wee bit floppy.
So
that's a sorry-looking cucumber.
Look, definitely doesn't like being frozen.
Here's a fresh courgette, frozen, and it'll start to almost break down. There's that much water in it.
Well, what about sort of the danger areas of refreezing? Are there any, or is this something that's kind of changing now?
Well, yeah, it's a bit of a myth, really, that you can't refreeze something. If you've got some frozen raw meat out of the freezer and you've cooked an amount of it, cook it all and freeze it, so you never have any waste.
Now, with all different types of meat, we've got fish and sausages here, but also with things like steak and chicken, can you cook them straight from frozen?
You can, and some things cook better from frozen, it'll say on the pack, but things like a steak I would defrost first. But a sausage, for example, like you've got here, can cook from frozen, it's absolutely fine. But some things are better if they're defrosted.
So Neil, what about the nutrition? Like, how quickly is that lost with vegetables?
A lot of fresh vegetables might have been stored for a long, long time, and that's when they deteriorate and lose some of their nutritional value. Whereas frozen vegetables tend to be frozen at source when picked, and that's when you capture all its nutritional value. Kind of there and then. If you're buying vegetables, you're not always sure how old they are and how nutritious they are, but whereas frozen, there's a kind of guarantee. When you've got the kind of amazing freezing technology that I have now, it freezes so quickly, so all the ice crystals don't form, they're really small, so you don't get any deterioration on anything. So you do it at home and you might get big ice crystals on your food.
Yeah, or freezer burn.
Yeah, because it freezes it so slowly, but when you're in kind of manufacturing, it does it so quickly, it kind of just stops it, preserves it at that moment by freezing it.
So talking of preserving, do they need to add any preservatives to help it in the freezing process?
Yeah, it's absolutely the opposite. The food in the freezer tends to be a lot, you might say, cleaner. We'll use words like that.
And what about baby puree? We've had quite a few questions about baby puree. How long can we leave that in the freezer for? How long is it safe to leave it in a freezer for? Well, quite an important question.
Yeah, again, if your freezer's in good shape and it's keeping to a low temperature, it'll keep a long time. But I would try and rotate it as much as possible, so you're using everything within a couple of weeks or a month tops. And the key thing is just marking up, putting a label on it when you froze it, so you know you can rotate it.
One doesn't get shoved to the back of the fridge.
Freezer management.
Can you believe it? Freezer management. So, bottom line, is it healthy to eat 100% frozen food?
Well, of course it is. You can eat 100% frozen food as long as it's a balanced diet.
Yeah.
You know, and as long as it's not all from the ice cream department or it's all cheesecakes.